Hey everybody, look at everything I just got delivered here from Instacart. This is my first order from Instacart, and I'm really happy. I want to talk about the convenience of having somebody else shop for you, and this isn't anything new because I was a customer, a client of a delivery service, which actually stored their own had their own grocery store, which was called Pea Pod back in the day. And I was a regular client and did my shopping just like this, and got delivered to the door. And quality is very good, prices are decent, but there's something different. So I'm going to talk about that when I come back. Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, you just saw me bringing in a basket from my order this morning from Instacart. And I want to applaud Instacart. Number one, they just had an IPO, and I don't know how it's doing. I don't really care because I don't invest. But I have used several services that do the shopping for me. And I, I'll tell you why that's important. If you don't have a car, uh, it's expensive to get to where you want to go shopping and then also come back with all of those goods. And this way, having somebody shop for me because I already know what I want. Uh, and it's just a matter of personal preference. And that's one of the things that a lot of people have a hard time with. They need to be that touchy feely uh, on everything that they purchase. And so they have to actually hold it, feel it, smell it, and before they decide on whether they want to buy it or not. Same thing goes for the grocery store, and especially meats. Meats are real important too, because some people can be pretty picky, and then also some people can be pretty bad at picking out meat. Also, you don't want something that's too fat, but yet you don't want something that doesn't have any fat and will dry out and become tasteless, because that's where all your flavors come from is the fat. But online services have really sprouted up, and especially over the past year, since I was burned out down the street. I've used a lot of online services, and because I don't have transportation. I should say I don't have reliable transportation anymore. Because a lot of people are going back to work or having to go back to work because the cost of living is so insane. And I have friends who are retired and had to go back to work because they can't make ends meet with the Social Security money that they make. And that's hard for everybody, even myself. I get a pretty substantial amount because I was paying in at the maximum rate back in when I had my company, and my financial advisor advised me to have me on as an employee, rather than me being the actual uh, owner of the business. And so we incorporated, and so I have a board of directors that I answer to, and also some other people that I answer to. And so it's a very regulated corporation that I had back then, and justifiably so because of what we were doing. But nowadays you can get practically anything online, and um, Amazon has their own version called Fresh, and so I'm waiting for my afternoon delivery here, and it's supposed to be delivered within the next hour, before 3 o'clock. And so, waiting for that order this morning, I did my first and second Instacart orders, and so the my first Instacart order was just delivered a little bit ago. You saw the picture of the cart and some of the goods that were in there. And that's just one of the shopping. And the Instacart on that one. That one came from Foods Co. And so and you say, well, why don't you just go up there? Well, number one, I don't have a car. Number two, uh, uh, taking transportation is expensive. And what I would spend just one way is $15 from my location right here up to Foods Co. And about $4 less if I went to Food Max, which isn't that much further or much closer. Or I can go over to the one on Ninth Street, the Fruitvale station, and that one's right around $11, $12. So it's still expensive. And then after you go shopping, then you got to call Lyft back again to come pick you up and bring you back. So this way, I don't have to do that. Number one, I don't have to go out. I don't have to do any shopping. The things that I buy are pretty predominantly the same things I buy month in, month out. And one of the things that I can say is that the transition has not been as difficult as I thought it might be, because I'm a touchy-feely type person when it comes to my food, especially meats. I like to pick out my own meats. I'm very particular about it, but nowadays less so. And so anyway, I had a service like this way back in 2000, because I was in my Oakland condo at Gene Terrace, and there was an online service that had just become available, and some of you may have even used it. It was right here in the Bay Area, called PeaPod, 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 and they were a good little organization. They were here in Oakland. In fact, Amazon took over the location where Peapod was in 2000, that huge warehouse space, because it sat empty for a long time. And then when it the the rent wasn't cheap. But anyway, one of the advantages that Instacart has, and will likely become more successful, is that Peapod was their own wholesale grocery um, uh, entity in itself, and so everything that they had online, they had in stock, and it wasn't they weren't relying on another wholesaler, another grocery store, or a warehouse to do the shopping. And so that really limited their resources and their ability to grow and serve the general public. Yeah, and also to try and maintain some sort of stock inventory at that time, and it was real hit and miss. I did like the service. The products, the vegetables, and everything were always really good. I never had any problem with it. It wasn't cheap. Just the delivery fee for Peapod back in 2000 was $35 up to $50, depending on how big the order was. The larger the order, the less the fees were going to be. Whereas if you were buying only $100 of food, that would come in two storage containers, and they would unload it right there on the premises, and then take the empty containers with them. And so a person would actually physically bring it from the warehouse in a truck to your front door, to your kitchen, and they didn't put it in your refrigerator, they put it on your countertop. Or you could do an exchange program back then, which I was on. We had the exchange program because it was easier, and they could just leave the crates right at my door. I didn't even have to be home, they could just leave it at the door. And that's sometimes what happened. And it was a good service, but unfortunately, it was ahead of its time. Not enough people supported Peapod, and it went out of business. It was one of those dot bombs that well, I supported it. I really believed in it, and I enjoyed the service, just like I'm enjoying the service right now with the modern version. Instead of having to inventory and warehouse all this groceries, they can just simply go to an existing grocery store, pick it off the shelf, because the prices are going to be the same. According to Instacart, they will tell you if it's in-store pricing or there's a markup. And that's one of the nice things that I like about Instacart. It tells you. Most of the other services, they won't tell you. Fresh won't tell you, because I believe everything from Fresh comes from Whole Foods. And so because a lot of the labeling is 365, and so 365 was a label of Whole Foods, and so I imagine these things will be coming from Whole Foods. And the only reason why I went with Fresh is because uh, today, right now, they had an incredible deal on turkey, and I haven't been able to find turkey anywhere else in the grocery stores, but yet Fresh, Amazon Fresh, had turkeys, and the prices were really, really good. Last year, I paid a ridiculous price for turkeys, which was between $20 and $25. This year, I got 12 to 16 pound for $13. So it's a little less than $1 a pound right now. And then I bought two of those. I've got one uh, um, 8 to 12 pound coming, which was $11. 11.97. So the prices were very reasonable on Amazon Fresh, which I'm thankful for. And I'll be able to just put it in the freezer and keep it for Thanksgiving. And so that's planning ahead. I also bought some other things that I needed from Amazon Fresh. So those items will also come. Since I'm roasting a turkey in uh, a mini turkey roaster, and also I'm doing one out on the barbecue, a smoked turkey out on my barbecue. So uh, I got the Cajun injection. You saw me inject the chicken legs with it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the turkey, and then that's what's going out on the smoker. And it is very tasty when you do that. I did that last year with one turkey that was uh, purpose for me and my dog, and it came out incredible. So anyway, uh, I missed Peapod. I was really sad when they went out of business. Safeway came back a few years ago with a version of Peapod, and so I didn't do Safeway because I've had some issues with Safeway, and then also their early online service on the ordering was so crazy, and it was not very good, and it was very frustrating. So I never ordered from the Safeway version of the home delivery, but I do like Instacart. The other one that I've been using is on DoorDash. DoorDash has the same thing where you when you get to the opening, the app opens, you go to grocery, and it shows you all the different grocery stores that are available. Uh, it's not the greatest selection. That's why I like Instacart, because Instacart has all the grocery stores that I want, including Ranch 99 Market. So I can get fresh seafood from Ranch 99 Market at their in-store price, have it delivered, and it's not costing me anything more. Because if you think about it, if I were to have a car, I would have to pay for that car. I'd have to pay for the insurance. I have to pay for the gas to get out to there, plus my time to shop and look at things, and then I have to drive all the way back. And so $35 is actually pretty cheap if you think about the cost of vehicle maintenance, fuel, and insurance. It would have cost me a lot more than that to have my own personal vehicle and go do the same thing. Whereas right now, it's typically about $35, and that's pretty reasonable for somebody's time, and then tip. Today's tip was $20, so she got a nice tip on this $200 order, and that was from Foodco, and it's a hassle for me to get there. And since I don't have reliable transportation, uh, it really helps to have these options available. And so, and it's not that costly. Like I said, if you own a vehicle, it would cost you more than that to go up to the store and do it yourself. And you have somebody else to do it for you, kind of like a concierge. So it's kind of nice having that. What you're really paying for is the convenience and um, not having the stress. And with the holidays coming up, Instacart has both Sam's Club and Costco. Imagine that. Ordering what you want from Costco because it's going to be on the website, and you don't have to stand in those ridiculously long lines at either one of those warehouses. And so that's the biggest benefit. But if you're a Chase Bank member, look at your Chase email, because that's how I got this Instacart benefit, and it's a delivery, free delivery with my Chase account. And so I did that, and then I'm not limited just food. And there's a lot of other things that are delivered. And in fact, uh, I'm going to add in uh, Mama's toy delivery. I ordered this morning from Pet Food Express some new toys for Mama, and the price wasn't bad. I dropped $57 this morning on toys for Mama. But I do that every month anyway. I spend about $60 to $70 on toys for her, and this keeps her happy and entertained and gives her something to do. And it's better than having her bored and moping around and getting into things that she shouldn't be getting into. But the options are pretty incredible. Uh, I saw Lucky's grocery store, Safeway's on there, Sprouts. There's a lot of grocery stores and stores that are in Berkeley that I don't get to, that I would love to shop at. But now with Instacart and DoorDash convenience, it makes it much easier. And a person, a senior who might be homebound, get with a little bit of money, ATM card, or not ATM card, but a debit card or a credit card, you can feed yourself, have stuff delivered right to your door safely. Don't have to go out, and so that's one of the biggest pluses that I can say really helps me out, because otherwise I'd be spending a lot of money just in transportation getting out to these different stores, and this way I don't have to do the shopping. I don't have the stress of standing in line and waiting. I don't have to worry about getting into an automobile accident or anything. And best of all, I don't have to step foot outside of my home. Thanks for joining me today. Let's go shopping.